Giant fans, Big Blue Nation, and especially my friends from J18 and all football fans around the world. First of all, let me say welcome to the weekend. It is NFL Championship weekend, and it is most of the country right now, right, is under an absolute brutal weather blanket. And I say that to actually literally get under the blankets, folks, because it is absolutely brutally cold outside. It's on the way here this morning. It was 8 degrees, and never mind the wind chill. So hopefully it'll be a little warmer tomorrow. I know in Seattle it'll probably be a little bit warmer. They're not getting the weather we're getting, and Denver is it's always a crapshoot. So I do love a little bit of weather games, but I want it to be an even playing field. I want to see both teams at their strength play against each other without any built-in excuses. All right, so let's get right to it. We'll talk our little Giants news for the week. We had a lot to talk about there, and we'll get into the NFL Championship Sunday matchups between first at 3 o'clock, the Denver Broncos hosting the New England Patriots, and then the later game will be the Los Angeles Rams visiting the Seattle Seahawks. So 2 great matchups, but let's talk about the Giants' big news. Obviously, if you haven't lived in a cave in a different country for the last 2 weeks or a week, John Harbaughs is officially the head coach of the New York Giants. And we are off and running, folks, the dawn of a new era of Giants football. Now, here's what I'm going to say, because there's been a lot of fans, a lot of Giant fans saying the guy's he's won 1 Super Bowl. He's had this guy, he's had Lamar, and he can't win with this guy and that guy. We all know as Giant fans, that doesn't matter. We know that coaching does matter. But John Harbaugh wasn't dropping footballs in the end zone to win football games or missing kicks or being injured, right? You could say that just about every coach that's ever won, because not everybody wins all the time. You know, Belichick was an anomaly because he's had Brady and they were great for each other. But, you know, chemistry matters, coaching matters. And, you know, just because he didn't win the Super Bowl every single year doesn't mean he's not a good coach. What I'm more excited about as a Giant fan is the things that we've been missing. And we talked about this last week's episode. It's the things we've been missing as an organization, which is, first of all, respect. Having the respect of the league, because I feel like that's back now, because a lot of, if not most of the league, respects John Harbaugh, or all the league. Legitimacy, because he's a legitimate coach. He knows what he's doing. He brings discipline, and he talked about that at his press conference. He brings toughness back to the team, and he brings organization and leadership. And that's what we were really, really, really suffering, especially for these young kids, especially the young kids who are on the team, the rookies, the second-year players, not having the leadership, right? As much as I like Brian Daboll, and I think Brian's a great guy, and he did a good job for the most part when he was first started, but you could see as he progressed that he was more interested in, almost like he was trying to be friends with the players and be buddies with the players and love. And you can do that, obviously, but there has to be a line. And I feel like with the Giants, there was no line. Now, I know a lot of the players did love Coach Daboll, and I wish him the best. He interviewed for the Buffalo job, by the way, yesterday, which is another, the 9th or 10th head coaching job in the NFL that opened this week, which is wild. I don't think it's ever been that many coaches been fired in one time. But yeah, McDermott out in Buffalo and Daboll were interviewed there. But we got our guy. We were the first ones, right? And even veterans, respected veterans like Chris Carter went on TV and said, listen, the Giants did the right thing. The Giants absolutely got their guy who's going to lead them back to respectability. And I feel like the first step of that was actually hiring John Harbaugh. It brought immediate respect. We feel like we're not the laughing stock of the league right now. And you have to give credit where it's due, right? You have to give credit to, first of all, the Mara family, Chris and John, especially John, who literally blew off cancer treatment to go speak to Coach Harbaugh and to convince him to come here. Chris Mara for doing the legwork, for going down there, for going to get him. and bringing him back and getting the job done. And good morning to all my followers, by the way. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for dropping the gifts in there too. And if please, if you like the show and if you want to continue watching the show every week, please share it with your friends. Get that follower count up for me. I'm really trying to boost the show here as we're getting. This is our first year of Big Blue Confidential. So thanks to all 1,475 of you who have liked and followed me. But yeah, let's go back to the Giants real quick because I want to get to Championship Sunday. Much maligned guy, Joe Schoen. A lot of fans dislike him, and I'm guilty of being angry and wanting him to be fired or wanting him to at least have a diminished role with the team because I feel like he is a smart football guy. And what we have to remember is, as fans, we want everything right now, right? We're like kids. We're like little kids. We're like my kids when they were little. We want everything right now. We're not wanting to wait, right? Unfortunately, our rebuild is taking 10 years. 1 year with Macadont, and then we had a playoff year, which we won't talk about, boat picture. And then we had the 1 year where Dable brought him to the playoff. He was coach of the year, and that was a great year. The common denominator there was our defense was spectacular that year under Wink Martindale. Now, a lot of guys don't like Wink. I don't love the guy, but I respect the art, and I don't have to respect the artists. I thought what he did when he walked out the door was kind of Bush League. But it is what it is. He's a good defensive coordinator, and I'd take him back in a second. Yeah, again, I see some comments coming in. Don't like Joe. Listen, that's fair, right? Because we're frustrated right now as Giant fans. But I feel like this was a step in getting the fans back on Joe Schoen's side. He's drafted well for the most part. A couple mistakes, but he's a rookie. He was a rookie GM when he started. Right, it's his first job. He was the assistant GM in Buffalo. They don't draft well, except Josh Allen. But you see what's going on there with Keon Coleman. That's a mess. So, thanks Buffalo for taking the spotlight off of us, the Pixar lamp off of us, because as the joke of New York right now, because it was the Giants. I mean, the Jets are perpetually in that spin cycle, but Buffalo fans were puffing their chest out about how they were the team in New York and they're the respectable team in New York, because technically they're the only team in New York because the Giants and Jets play in Jersey. Shout out to my Jersey peeps. But what's going on in Buffalo right now is an absolute joke. Finally, should they have fired McDermott? Is it McDermott's fault? I mean, listen, the joke has been killing Josh Allen all week because I'm a huge Josh Allen sniffer. I'm not going to lie. I love that guy. I think he's tremendous. I think he's the best quarterback in the league. But he had a really bad game, and it was embarrassing to watch that. I mean, I kind of knew when they went down at the end of the game, I knew he was going to bring them back to at least tie it. But man, he had an open receiver. His tight end was wide open on that last drive that could have won the game for them. I mean, he hit him on the run at the 5-yard line. That kid walks into the end zone, and that game's over. Okay? And we're not talking about Denver. We're talking about the Patriots playing a home game tomorrow, which actually, thank God, it didn't, because tomorrow here in New England is going to be an absolute shit show as far as weather goes. I mean, right now it's 8 degrees, wind chill factor below 0. We're supposed to get 1.5 feet of snow tomorrow. But I mean, some people like that. But again, this is the NFC champion or AFC championship game. I want to see even playing field. But I digress. Back to Harbaugh. He stepped up to the podium on Tuesday afternoon, which I did predict on the show last week, and we'll find the clip and put it up. Me saying Tuesday afternoon at noon, between noon and 2, they were going to announce John Harbaugh as our head coach. When everyone was freaking out, he's going here, he's going there, he's not coming to the Giants because we didn't sign him right away. Lots of lawyer stuff going on. The deal got done. We sent Mara down. Chris Mara is the Mariano Rivera of the New York Giants. He's the closer. He closed the deal. Donnie X, yeah, every time something goes wrong, they blame the head coach. It's not the head coach. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a big guy on accountability, especially for the players. But I also, having been in leadership roles before, anytime that something goes bad, you're the head coach, right? You're the captain of the ship. The captain goes down with the ship. That's just the way it goes. That's leadership. You accept that role as a leader when you take the job, and that's just part of it. Is it fair? Not always, but that's just the way it goes. And he has, I mean, McDermott, I thought was a good coach, but I also thought he was sometimes in big situations, it felt like it was a little too big for him. Case in point, last week, right before halftime, Denver gets the ball, they score, go up, they go up 17-10, I believe. 26 or 29 seconds left in the half. Bills on their own 35-yard line to start the half, and they're trying to gain yards. For what reason? They get the ball to come out in the second half, right? I do believe they got the ball to come out and start the second half. They were trying to do 2-for-1 a la Bill Belichick, but they end up fumbling the football. Instead of just taking a knee, go in the locker room, down 7. But nope, they fumble the football, Josh Allen. Turns it over because they're trying to run plays. Denver recovers the fumble, kicks a field goal. They're up 10. That could have been disaster. Now, obviously, Buffalo came back. I didn't feel like that was the end of the game at all. Having watched Josh Allen almost every game this year, I felt like he was going to come back, right? But, man, they had a chance to win that game several times. And I'm not going to get into the whole, was it a catch? Was it not a catch? Was he down? Was it an interception? My opinion was that ball was a 50-50 ball, and the Broncos defender came up with the football. Broncos football. What really got me, if you really want to dive into that one, what really got me was on that same drive, Josh Allen threw a fade to the corner of the end zone. And I forget who it was to. It might have been to Shakir, but the Broncos defender was literally pulling his arm, preventing him from running to the football. Would he have caught it? We don't know, but it doesn't matter. That's pass interference on every football field in America 365 days a year, and he did not. It was not called. And they called a couple ticky-tack ones on the Broncos drive, but it is what it is. That's the NFL. That's how it goes. No one team gets favors. No one team gets the calls. People say that all the time, and it's bullshit, right? Saying the Patriots got all the calls in their game was bullshit, too, because they got a couple hokey pass interference calls against them, right? Because I tell you right now, the NFL, Roger Goodell hates the Patriots, and I'll challenge anybody to prove me wrong on that. He hates Brady. He hates Robert Kraft. But to finish my thoughts on Harbaugh, immediate respect to the Giants, leadership right off the bat. He told those guys at the press conference, leg day is tomorrow, boys. We're doing squats. First thing they did, started ripping the locker room apart. Football's rigged. Okay. I'm not even addressing that. What do you think about us giving up a D lineman like Thibodeau for another offensive lineman or wide receiver? I don't hate that. Greg, thanks for commenting. I don't hate that idea. But what are you going to? I would rather get a draft pick for him, unless you're going to get a big name offensive lineman. I think the Giants are all in on the Ravens center as a free agent this year, which would be huge because JMS just hasn't panned out. When he stays healthy, he showed sparks, but I don't think he's going to plan out. But if we can get a good receiver or a lineman, sure. But I would rather take the draft pick, probably a third rounder for Thibodeau. But it is what it is. Yeah, Harbaugh ripping the locker room out, ripping the carpet out, changing the weight room right off the bat, man. I love that. Tuesday afternoon, they were already making changes. Right? And then you had some shakeups, some longtime staff members of the New York Giants out the door. Right? Kevin Abrams, 27 years as vice president of football ops. Football ops and strategy, I think it was. Out the door. Gone. See ya. 27 years out. Obviously, they're gonna protect the shield. They're gonna say, "Oh no, Harbaugh didn't fire him. He left on his own." That's the word. That's the official. But I think the writing was on the wall there, right? Just like Tomlin in Pittsburgh, they weren't gonna fire him. It's a lot of respect. 27 years with the organization, you don't just fire a guy. You give him the respect. You let him walk out. Unlike we did to Coach Coughlin, by the way. But the entire 2025 defensive staff, good riddance. See ya. Gone. Everybody's gone. Bringing a whole new set. And who's that right there? It's Jersey 27. Yeah, dramatic culture shock is needed, and that's what we're getting right now. Look at everything that's happened this week, right? Coaching staff overhaul, special teams changes. Gobrel's gone. Who else? Ronnie Barnes, been the head trainer. since before LT was there. Gone. Which also good riddance, because sometimes, listen, cheese stays good for a long time, but eventually cheese goes bad. Right? Eventually cheese will go bad. And I feel like that's what happened, because look at the injuries. Wait, we always had injuries. And dumb injuries. Right? Bringing in a whole new training staff, getting the guys fit, getting the guys healthy, getting them ready to play football. Time to clean house. Absolutely, Tyron. Absolutely. Time to clean house. And I like what we're doing. There's a couple of open windows right now. I know that everyone was big on our offensive lineman coach, and I'll miss him, because our offensive line really improved under him. But you know what? Harbaugh's a different guy. You got to let him bring his guys in. Who's going to join the staff? Offensive coordinator right now is a huge thing for us, right? Is Monken going to come here? That's the word on the street. Monken's going to be here as our offensive coordinator. I would like to see that, but the defensive coordinator part is really what we really need to talk about, because, listen, this football team, you can say whatever you want, right? 4-13, you are what your record says you are. But the offense was not the problem last year. Was 1,000% not the problem. Because look what Jackson Dart did. Look what this offense did without Malik Neighbors. Look at what the offense did without Cam Scatabo. We hung 32 points on the Denver Broncos, who the only team to score more than 30 points on the Broncos. We're the only team to score more than 30 points on the Philadelphia Eagles line defense, right? We hung points on people. The offense was not the problem, folks. How many games did we blow? 5, 6 games that we had leads in the fourth quarter? The defense was the problem. We have the talent on defense to compete. We are still a couple French fries short of a Happy Meal on defense. I'm not going to lie. We have positions that need to get filled. Run stoppers, another cornerback, a strong safety. I would like to see those all coming through on the draft or in free agency, right? I think we're up to 22 million, almost 23 million in cap space. So we have money to spend. It's not going to be like next year's money, but it'll be money. But it's spending wisely. And that's what Joe Shane needs to learn, right? Spending wisely. You know, there's reasons why we signed Daniel Jones for that much big of a contract, which what the contract these guys are getting now, and I called it then, now that looks like a great deal. But $40 million for Daniel Jones was ridiculous. And I think he realized that, and that's why he chose Daniel Jones, because this was a quarterback-driven league. He chose Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley because he knew the only chance we were getting better was if we had good quarterback play, because Barkley was good when he was there, and we did nothing. And we still would have stuck with him, so it doesn't matter. So I digress. But a lot of big changes coming. I really wanted to see Robert Saleh, who, congrats to him for taking the Titans job. That's going to be a tough job. I don't know. There's a lot of guys out there. There's probably going to be someone you haven't heard of, because I heard there's a stupid rumor going around that oh my God. Why can't I think of his name? I'm having a reset right now. My brain just did a screenshot. Rex Ryan. I heard Rex Ryan's name. Come on, man. Please, God, no. I do not want Rex Ryan. I love Rex Ryan. He was a great defensive coordinator, but the game's passing by. He's too wrapped up in the TV stuff. Bring Wink back. Tyron, me and you, buddy. Me and you, Tyron. Bring Wink Martindale back, buddy. Let's freaking go. Again, didn't like the guy personally, but respect the art, not the artists. Bring him back. He was good for this team. Our defense thrived under him. I think it would be good for him. He's a kick-ass dude, and he's doing great things for Michigan. Bring him back in. He was with he was with Harbaugh in Baltimore. That's where we took him from. Bring him back. But we'll see. We're not football people. We're just fans. We're just giving our opinions. We don't know nothing, right? As soon as, and that's the other thing too. All these people that do what I'm doing here, we realize we don't know nothing. We're just giving our opinions of what we'd like to see, what we think's going to happen, right? Because we're not really football people. Otherwise, we'd be doing the job instead of doing this. But we'll see. I like to see. I would have loved to. If you gave me a choice right now of who I wanted to be our defensive coordinator, there's two people that I have in mind. Two. One is, Antonio Pierce, who did a fantastic job in Vegas. I would like to see him get a head coaching job, but if not, once a Giant, always a Giant. Bring him back. He did a great job. He's a smart guy. He commands respect. He's a no-nonsense guy. Bring him in. And the other guy, if I had to pick one guy, Brian Flores is the man, dude. I mean, his defense is ridiculous. His defensive scheming is good, and we have the players for the most part, with the exception of a couple that will fix in the draft. I do believe it. So let's see. Let's go and see what happens with the Giants. See what happens with the defensive coordinator. Let Harbaugh do his thing. We can speculate all we want, and don't listen to the haters, man. Form your own opinions. Do what you have to do to make yourself feel better about it. Because, listen, we are immediately relevant. I'm not saying that we're going to win the Super Bowl next year. I'm not even saying we're going to the playoffs next year. I feel like our chances of going to the playoffs next year has significantly increased. But we're going to win more than 3 games. And plus, if you looked at who we're playing next year, we should win more than 3 games. More 4 games. So we're coming back. Again, I told you last week, with the amount of money coming off the books, Giant fans, number 9, DJ Davidson's like, welcome to the conversation, Alexis. I love it. This is good stuff. Get your husband on here. Get your husband on to follow Big Blue Confidential. But yeah, $100 million in cap space next year. That is going to be when we really rebound, guys. You're going to see some improvement because you're going to see immediate leadership. You're going to see accountability. The fans are excited, yes, but the real thing is, are the players excited? Are the players excited about having John Harbaugh as their head coach? And I will give you a resounding yes. From everything that I've seen, from the things I've heard, that people that I know on the inside who are close to the team and some of the players, they love it. I have not heard one negative thing from any of the players. And Harbaugh said it himself. It's going to be football, football, football. And if you don't love football, then maybe you need to go somewhere else. And that's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear as a Giant fan. He said all the things that you want to hear. Okay? So be excited, Giant fans. We have a reason to be excited other than Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors, and Cam Scatterbo. We have a reason to be excited. But also temper that, because we still have to go out and do it. But the things that this entire organization has been lacking for the last 10 years since we let go of Coach Coughlin, the toughness, the accountability, the leadership, the respect, it's back. And I'm here for it. All right, let's get into it. Big day tomorrow, or if you're watching this tomorrow morning, big day today. Us here in New England. I mean, I'm a New England guy. I was born and raised in New Jersey, but I've been here 34 years because of work. And I've had to listen to the freaking Patriots fans for damn near 75% of that. And there's one sitting here to my right. And I'm happy for them. I'm not a hater of the Patriots. I don't care. They're in the AFC. They mean nothing to me. We beat them in the Super Bowl twice. We took the GOAT down twice. So I'm not a hater. I root for them because I have a lot of friends who are Pats fans. And I'm rooting for them tomorrow. That's the first game, 3:00 tomorrow in Mile High Stadium, or whatever they're calling it nowadays. I'm always going to call it Mile High. Should be a good game. 2 good defenses, 2 good head coaches, one of them who I can't stand, Sean Payton. The other one who I have the utmost respect for, Mike Vrabel. I was wishing for him as our coach last year. And you see what good coaching can do, right? And they spent $350 million rebuilding their roster, but that can be done. And he's done a fantastic job. They went from 4 wins last year in the 3rd overall pick to a 1 game away from Jared Stidham away from playing in the Super Bowl. That's amazing. And all this talk about, they had the easiest schedule. The Patriots, this and that. Listen, I feel like most of you guys who tune into the show, there's always a unicorn here and there, but most of you guys who watch the show and comment and make comments on my posts, you're pretty smart people. You know how the schedule works. right? Each division plays a different division every single season. And then you throw in a smattering of other teams, and that all goes by what your record was the year before. To say, oh, they gave the Patriots the easiest schedule. Well, I mean, they did win 4 games last year, but that's not how it works, right? Because if that's how it works, then why do the Giants have the hardest schedule in the league this year? That's facts. The Giants had the absolute hardest schedule in the league. So that whole record thing means nothing. It's all about the NFL, the way they schedule games and the way they schedule divisions and who we're playing, right? Next year, I think who do we have this year? I think we had the AFC West this year, right? So next year, I think we had the AFC South. And we play a couple of NFC West teams. We played the Niners again. We played the Cardinals. We play the Browns next year. So listen, we should go out and win 8 games, 7, 8 games minimum. Right? But there's always the ones and twosies. Like, I thought we'd beat the Saints this year. That was an embarrassment. That's a game we absolutely should have won. Coming off a win against San Diego. Right? But it didn't happen. It is what it is. But they're always going to have those onesies, twosies where you don't win a game that you think you should, or you win a game that you shouldn't. So this year, the Broncos and the Patriots, this is going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to this game tomorrow. I think this is going to be the best game of the day. I think these two teams match up well. I've been officially on the Drake May bandwagon. That kid's phenomenal. I watched him play against the Giants in person. He is a tremendous football player. I mean, yeah, he had some fumble issues last week, but you got to chalk that up to weather, right? He makes pretty good decisions. He's well coached. I mean, he has some weapons, but let's be honest. Outside Diggs, the average football fan doesn't really know who the Patriots receivers are. So he does a great job. They're spectacular as well. Special teams, I mean, they click all the boxes for everything. Coaching, special teams, running game, passing game, just defense. They're a very well coached team, well put together team. I think they're tremendous. The Denver Broncos, same thing. Well coached. As much as I don't like Sean Payton, I think that Sean Payton shouldn't be in the league anymore. Because I have the whole Bountygate thing, but whatever. It is what it is. I can't change that. Just my opinion. But he's a great coach, and he's done great things. Broncos defense is very good, but they can be suspect. And I think that Vrabel is right out of the Belichick playbook. I think he's going to try and expose their weaknesses, like Buffalo kind of did last week. I mean, I think I talked about it last week too. People saying, "Oh, this guy's hurt and that guy's hurt." I don't want to hear it. Everybody's hurt. Tom Brady said it one time. They asked him, are you concerned about this guy being hurt and that guy is being hurt? He said, "It's the playoffs. It's the AFC Championship game. Everybody's hurt." And that's how I look at it. Everybody's hurt. So you just got to next man up. You got to have a deep roster, which the Giants haven't had in forever. Got to have a deep roster. Next man up. So I don't want to hear this guy's hurt and that guy's hurt. But the Broncos have weapons. They can run the football. They throw the football well. I really feel like they're going to miss Bo Nix tomorrow. As much as it's weird saying that. I feel like they're going to miss Bo Nix. I mean, who'd have thought that kid coming out of North Carolina that he was going to be the cog in the wheel that Bronco fans were worried about? And listen, Bronco fans are still cocky. I've been following along the different pages and different TikToks and the reels and stuff, and I feel the comments. I look at the comments that the Bronco fans and the Patriot fans are throwing at each other, and the Bronco fans are still cocky, and that's one of the reasons I really want them to lose tomorrow. Because Stidham, I don't know, man. I feel like he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna get it done. If the Broncos win tomorrow, it will not be because of Jarrett Stidham. And if I'm wrong about that, feel free to come back in here and throw it in my face because I'll eat the crow. I'll hand up accountability here on Big Blue Confidential. I will eat it. But I don't think so. And I don't think there's a smart football person outside of Denver who feels like Stidham can get it done. It's a big blow to the Denver Broncos to have not have their guy, who I don't even think was that great anyway. I think their defense carried them for most of the year. Like they were the AFC version of the Chicago Bears. You know, cardiac wins at the last minute. You know, look what they did to the Giants. They did that all year, and eventually it catches up to you. But again, they're well coached. They play hard, and they'll play for 60 minutes. And I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think the Patriots win by less than a touchdown, and I think the Patriots will go to the Super Bowl, which is unbelievable that they turn it around this fast. Oh, yeah, I got scammed and lost 2K on Broncos and Rams. Listen, I had my team this year that was and I kept doing it. Right, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I kept putting money on the San Francisco 49ers, and I learned my lesson. I didn't do that last week. Right, Christian McCaffrey specifically in my parlays kept screwing me. Christian McCaffrey, by my calculations, over the last 2 seasons, Christian McCaffrey owes me about $8,000. So, and this guy sitting here, I should take advice from this guy because this guy reels it in.
I hit 7,100 last weekend.
I hate you. But I'm taking the week off this week. I'm just going to enjoy the game. I'll be back on the FanDuel next week. Shout out to the FanDuel. Hopefully they watch the show. But I'm not touching this one tomorrow. This one's going to be a great game. We're in for a real treat. I don't envy Patriots fans and Bronco fans just because of the sheer stress that you're going to be under for at least 3 hours tomorrow. But I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, head to head, I feel like they're a good team, and you got to throw out the intangibles, right? Everyone says, "Oh, well, the Broncos are 4-0 against the Patriots in the playoffs at Mile High Stadium." So what? So what? It means nothing because guess what? None of those players. I can't back this up, but I'm going to go out and say none of these players on the current rosters were there for any 4 of those games. So that means nothing, right? Points per game, Patriots have an edge by 5 points. Yards per game, Patriots with the edge. Time of possession per game, it's a wash. Sacks wise, I mean, the Patriots don't get to the quarterback a lot. 35, and Broncos just are relentless to the quarterback. 68 sacks. I mean, I bet CJ Stroud would probably have something different to say, or I think he'd have probably a different opinion on that, or Justin Herbert. But the Patriots don't get to the quarterback very often. Interceptions, it's a wash, 10 each. And then the Broncos were 6 turnovers better than the Patriots. But Patriots were, shockingly, when I saw this, they were +3 for the season. And then the Broncos were -3. They were 19th in the league. Patriots were 10th. I'm sorry. The Patriots were +3. That's a good thing. I had it backwards. Patriots were +3, 10th in the league, and the Broncos were -3. So I was reading that. My dyslexia kicked right in this morning. So I think looking at those things, clearly I'm biased. I hate the Broncos, but I'm objective here. I'm objective. I think it's going to be a great game, but I think the Patriots are going to win. I'm not a Patriots fan. I don't like the Patriots, but I don't hate them. I just think they're overall a better team. Broncos, it's hard to win a game in Mile High. It's hard. Anybody will tell you. Anybody will tell you the Patriots are going to have a tough time in that stadium. Like, the fans are loud, the fans are good, but I feel like the Patriots are overall a better team. I think they're going to win. They got something going on, that little mojo they got going on. But hey, I've been wrong a lot this year. So if you're a Broncos fan watching this, you're welcome. But I just feel Patriots by 4, 20, maybe 24-20. It's going to be cold. I don't know about the wind. I'm from New York. I thought it was innate to hate the Patriots. No, I don't. But I don't have a reason to. I'm from New Jersey, by the way, Trace. I'm from Jersey, born and raised in Jersey. Giant fan my whole life. But I don't have a reason to hate the Patriots. Who cares? They don't mean anything. They're in a different division, different conference than the Giants. And then when we play them in the Super Bowl, we all know what happens. There's no reason to rehash that. Living in the past. No reason for me to hate them. I live in New England. I'm surrounded by these mass holes. But they're pretty cool. When I went to the Giant game in Foxborough this year, I was treated well by the Patriot fans. I have no hate for them. Good for them. I'm happy for my friends who especially my daughter. My daughter is 19. She's in love with Drake May. And I'm happy for her. This is her first real taste of what it's like to be a Patriots fan for so long. But I have really close friends and family who are Patriot fans, and good for them. I just want a rooting interest. I'm just rooting for a good game, but I feel like the Patriots are going to win. You just don't know ball. All right, well, people they love to say you don't know ball. You don't know this, you don't know that. Again, I said it. None of us know it. We're all just giving our opinions. We educate ourselves as much as we can when we form those opinions, or some people just blurt out dumb shit. Right? But I think if you go on paper and you look at these two teams, they're evenly matched for the most part. And I think the difference maker, if Bo Nix was there tomorrow, I'd be saying something different. But Bo Nix being out tomorrow, that's a difference maker. And that swings to the Patriots' favor. Can you look up for me right now what the line is? Could you look at that for me, please, Ryan? But I would have to say that Vegas is also on my side with this. Drake May is overhyped. No, he's not. No, he's not. How is he overhyped? He's a legitimate MVP candidate. Tell me you haven't watched Drake May play this year without actually saying it. Because you did say it by saying Drake May is overhyped. That's crazy. That's crazy to say that. He's overhyped. You know who's overhyped? Justin Herbert is overhyped. CJ Stroud is overhyped. So the Vegas likes the Patriots. Okay.
I got a prediction for the game.
Hasn't played any good defenses, except in the playoffs. And guess what, Oss? He's going to the Super Bowl probably. So, yeah, he's played good hasn't played any good defenses except in the playoffs. Guess what? He's done. He's won both games. Anyway, I'm not entertaining that. That's ridiculous. You just contradicted yourself. He hasn't played anybody except in the playoffs and beat both teams, by the way. Drake May's not overhyped. Is he the best quarterback in the league? Absolutely not. That's reserved for right now, stat-wise, that's Matt Stafford. He's not better than Josh Allen. But to say Drake May is overhyped is ridiculous. That's crazy. Watch the games. Guy wins. That's all he does. You have to play the schedule you're given. You don't just pick your schedule. This isn't college where you just choose to pick the teams you play. Mahomes is not the best quarterback in the league. Mahomes' days right now are temporarily put on hold. Mahomes is still a good quarterback, but he's not top 5. I'm sorry, he's not. I like Patrick Mahomes. I like the Chiefs. I like what he does. I think he's phenomenal, but he had an off year, and this year was not good. So he dropped back this year. My opinion. But to say Drake May is overhyped is crazy. I'm sorry. Patrick Mahomes is not top. What did Patrick Mahomes do this year that made him a top 5, other than everyone just loving him? And this guy's hurt, and that guy. Sorry, he fell off this year. He fell off. He hit a shelf this year. Will he be back? Probably. I'll never count Patrick Mahomes out, but this year he didn't have a good year. Right now, in 2025, Patrick Mahomes was not a top 5 quarterback. I'm sorry. I know it's Patrick Mahomes. He's not Tom Brady. Tom Brady never sucked. Just saying. Guys fall off, man. It happens. He gets older. His wife had kids. It happens to the best of them. This is not a disrespect. I would bet you that Patrick Mahomes will be back next year. And he'll have a phenomenal season because I believe that it's true. But this year, nah. But again, let's lock this up. Patriots, Broncos. If the Broncos win, it'll be defense. Their defense will make a play to win the game. That's how they're going to win because Stidham ain't beating the Patriots. The Broncos defense will win that game for them. But I still think Patriots win in a close one, a good defensive game. I think it's going to be hard hitting, which is going to be great. I love that. I hope it's a close game. And guess what? If the Patriots lose, I don't care. Because then I'll be rooting for the NFC for the first time in my entire life. I'll be rooting for an NFC team other than the Giants. I've never rooted for a team other than the Giants in the Super Bowl as an NFC team. But I will not root for the Broncos. So I'm calling it Patriots 24, Broncos 20. Patriots are AFC champs, and they will go to the Super Bowl against either the LA Rams or the Seattle Seahawks. Now, let's get to that game. That's going to be interesting because everybody's immediate thought is, the Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. But as a great man once said, not so fast, my friend, because they have Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, who is going to be the MVP of the league. Okay, we go back to my producer, Ryan says 28-21 Patriots. Okay, well, you don't know field goals?
It's going to be a tight game. Okay. Some of the field goals are going to be in there.
Okay.
But it's going to be a tight game.
All right. But back to the Seahawks-Rams. Rams have been doing it the way the Bears do it, right? The 2 games that the Rams played. Listening to it, what are you doing here, Philly Cheese 55? But much respect, though. I do respect that a Philly fan has joined the chat, right? Because they got nothing to do either. How's the weather in Cancun, by the way? The Rams have been doing it. I mean, Stafford is tremendous. That guy, he's hands down the MVP. Sorry, Pats fans. I know you feel like your guy is the MVP, but he's not better than Stafford. Stafford is a tremendous player. He gives them a chance to win every time he comes on the field. Plus, he has the best receiver on the planet, too. Anybody who says Puka Nacua is not the best receiver in the league, also dumb. The Rams will never beat the Seahawks. I'm not going to say never. I still think the Seahawks are going to win. I feel like the Seahawks will win this game, right? It's very tough to win a game, no matter when it is, in that stadium, whatever they're calling it now, right? It's tough to win in Seattle. The fans they're tremendous. They're awesome fans. They're loud. That the acoustics in that stadium is crazy. That's going to be tough. But as long as Matthew Stafford is in the game, they have a chance. Last week, I think I said it. I have to go back. I thought that the Seahawks would blow the 49ers out. I was right. That was worse than I thought it was going to be. That game was over. The opening kickoff, that game was over. But if you have Stafford on your team, you have a chance. If you have Puka Nacua on your team, you have a chance. The Rams play good defense. They hit hard. Puka is listen. Go us. But I feel like this guy wants to just argue with me. Go look at the stats don't lie. The ball does not lie, bro. Put him up. Put him up. Puka Nacua is awesome. And as long as you got him, you got a chance. You got Stafford to throw him the ball, you got a chance. Defense hits hard. They play well. But, man, the Seahawks do everything right. They do everything well. Listen, Jamar might go for 2,000 if he has Stafford. Yeah, but he doesn't. So, there you go. I'd like to see Jamar go someplace. But Jamar Chase has freaking Joe Burrow. So, stop. Joe Burrow is a top 5 quarterback in the league. So, stop it. If Justin Jefferson had Matthew Stafford, he might go for 2,500 and 40 touchdowns. He might have a season like Randy Moss had in 2007. We'll see. But I feel like overall, the Seahawks are a better football team. Something about McVay I just don't like. He's a great coach, but just something about him kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. I'm rooting for the Seahawks to win. I feel like they're going to win. I feel like they're going to win probably by 10, 13. Unless Sam Darnold is, that's what I was getting to that. Thanks, Greg, for making that point. That was what I was going to say. Because if you know Sam Darnold's history in the postseason or in big games, it hasn't been great. But he has proven so far in this playoffs. He's proven that he's up to task. On Jigbo way better than Puka. Okay. Again, opinions. But I'm just saying, look at the stats. So I feel like Darnold has a great game, then it's an easy win. But if he struggles, if he remembers how he already does, how he does in the postseason, that might be tough for Seattle. But I still feel like Seattle's defense, they swarm to the ball, they gang tackle, they do, man. I feel like it might be a good game, but I feel like one big play by Seattle early, and that will just take the wind right out of the sails. I'm hoping for two great games. Broncos, Patriots, probably a tight game, but I'm going to call a Seahawks blowout again. I feel like as great as Stafford is, as great as Puka Nacua is, I feel like they don't have enough. I feel like the Seahawks are just on a mission. I mean, they just annihilated San Francisco. I don't know. I feel like Niner fans used injuries as excuses. And listen, having arguably your best player in Kittle be hurt, that's a shot. But it is what it is, right? You got to play who you got, and they couldn't get it done. That had nothing to do with their defense playing terrible. So I still think Seahawks 31-20 Seahawks. I think it'll be close early, but I think Seattle pulls away in the halfway through the third quarter. I feel like they pull away. Denver is the loudest stadium. I don't know. Is there? Can you look that up for me? Is there a stat? Is Denver the loudest stadium? I want to say Seattle might be the loud. Kansas City is pretty loud. You know where's not loud? MetLife Stadium is not loud. We ain't had a reason to be loud in freaking a long time, but that's changing. What does the internet say about the loudest stadium, Rye?
So the Mile High one is not considered the loudest. It's Kansas City Chiefs Arrowhead Stadium.
That's what I was going to do. So where does Denver fall on that? Does it say? Is there like a list?
Looks like Denver would probably maybe 3.
Okay, I mean Denver's loud. Don't get me wrong. That's a bucket list stadium. I'd like to go see a game there. They're loud. They're good fans.
Arrowhead holds the Guinness World Record.
Loudest, yeah.
142.2 decimals.
That's crazy. Like, and they're getting rid of that. Was it Geha Stadium at Arrowhead, whatever it's called? They're moving. They're getting a new stadium. They're going to build it the same way, so it's still super loud. Yeah, it is Kansas City, Jarris. That's what I thought. I mean, I thought Seattle would be up there too, but yeah, you know where else is pretty loud, and I hate to say it, Philly could be pretty loud too. Especially, it's even louder when you're there and they're just thumping your team. It just seems way louder, and that's happened a lot lately. I hate it. I don't want to go. I'm not going back to Philly. How much better is Puka than Malik Neighbors in your honest? I need to see more out of Malik though. I need him to be healthy. Right now, I mean, Puka's clearly on another level, but I think Malik can be there. Now that we have a quarterback that can get him the football. But I don't know. It's hard to say. He's a different kind of receiver too. So it's crazy. But yeah, Philly is a crazy crowd. Philly is fun. Like Philly is fun. Like as long as you're not trying to fight anybody. And listen, I'm closer to 60 than I am 50. I'm not trying to fight nobody. I'm just trying to go to a football game and enjoy myself. Same with baseball or any other sport. I'm not trying to fight nobody. Those days are way over. Yeah, not a Giants fan, but Dart, Neighbors, and Scat can be exciting for years. Yeah, and who are we going to get? Don't leave out Wandale, because I think the Giants know they need to re-sign Wandale and have him be there at 3. But who are they getting as a 2? Right? There's going to be some guys in free agency. There's going to be somebody in the draft. I still think we draft. We go with the safety from Ohio State at 5, but I don't know. That's a gut. But I don't know, because Neighbors is not going to be back probably till week 4. They're saying maybe later. Wan'Dale can be a great number 2. Yes. Wan'Dale had a great season this year. He stepped up when Slayton did not. And also, I feel like we're saying goodbye to Darius Slayton this year, by the way. I think he's out. They know they owe him $12 million a year for the next 3 years. Yeah, Caleb Downs is an absolute beast. That's why I think Harbaugh is going to go crazy on that. He could be a great player. And him in the backfield or in the defensive backfield is going to be huge. Mendoza declares for the 26th draft. Well, I mean, that was going to happen. By the way, let's get on that for a second. I know this is an NFL. Who watched the national championship Monday? I mean, I had no rooting interest one way or another. Right? I like Penn State, so I was happy the Big Ten won, and I was happy the Cignetti won. He's a Pennsylvania guy. He's a tremendous coach. He turned that program around. I mean, they were the doormat of the Big Ten for years. Never had barely a winning season, never mind a national championship, and they go undefeated. That was a great game. I was gonna go to bed at halftime, and I thought Indiana might blow them out. Hats off to Miami, by the way, for playing a tremendous game and maybe stay up for the whole thing. And I was excited at the end. I would have been okay if Miami had won too, because I have good friends who are big fans of the U. A buddy of mine, his son's the punter for the U. So I'd have been okay with that. But again, no rooting interest. I just wanted to see a good football game, and that's what we got. That was a tremendous game. And that's what you want, right? I thought the playoffs as a whole, except for, well, every game that Indiana played before the national championship was kind of lame. But every other game that Miami had, the route that Miami had to take to get there, that's respect, bro. Cristobal did a great job, and I didn't think they were even going to get there. I thought they would lose early on, but they had my respect. I'm nobody, just some guy having fun on TikTok. But that was absolute respect. And Mendoza is going to go. He's going to go to the Raiders. That's happening. Unless the Raiders trade down and go for a boatload of picks. That's going to be their quarterback moving forward. And hopefully he helps them, because I like the kid's good. Right? You can say what you want. The kid's good. He's tough. I mean, I don't know if you watched the game, he took a pop. He took a pop early in that game, right on the chin, bloodied his mouth, but he never said boo and just kept going. That's toughness, man. That's what you want in your quarterback. Will it translate to being a good NFL quarterback? Who the hell knows? Nobody knows. The draft is like going to Vegas. You're taking your chances. There's no sure. The draft is never a sure thing. Right? You look back at all the players ever drafted, and like Tom Brady, arguably the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL. I'm not here to debate that, right? That's why I said arguably. I mean, look, 199th overall, 6th round. You never know what's going to happen. No one's a sure thing. That's why when I say I don't care about the draft, I mean I do, but I'm hung up on the draft. Like, oh my God, we have to lose games. We have to tank so you get a better draft position. So for what? So you guys can bitch about who we drafted and they're going to be a bust? You got to let your guys cook, man. You got to let them do their thing, because no one's a sure thing, man. Yeah, Big Mike 75. Yes, they need a quarterback, because I feel like there's other quarterbacks available. That's what I would do. I would trade and build your team up, because that division, the AFC West is right. You got the Chiefs. You got the Chargers, who are going to be a problem if they can figure it out. The Broncos, obviously, because they're in the AFC Championship. The Raiders got to do something. Build that team. How do I feel about John being? Javi, I said it earlier in the show. I'm ecstatic, man. I'm ecstatic about Harbaugh because of what he brings. Forget about the coaching part. I mean, 12 years out of 18, he went to the playoffs. He won a Super Bowl. And I know the whole thing that no Super Bowl winning coach has ever gone someplace else and won a Super Bowl. I get that. I'm not saying the Giants are going to win a Super Bowl. But I'm also saying that the Giants got respectability back. The Giants got back the things they've been missing. That's where I'm at. I'm happy that Harbaugh's here. He's already making changes for the better, changing the culture, taking out the trash. Guys have been too comfortable in their jobs in the New York Giants organization. And I feel, you know what? I'll get to that in a second. Let me close out here real quick. I feel like Seahawks, Patriots in the Super Bowl. I could be wrong, and I'll be hand up next week if I am. Just my gut. I feel like the Patriots win only because Bo Nix not being there is a huge problem for the Broncos. Their defense could carry him to a win, but I feel like the Patriots win. I feel like Seahawks win by 10 at least. Close game early, they pull away late. That's going to be a tough place for the Rams to go in. But Matthew Stafford is a dog, and I feel like he'll keep them in the game at least for a little while. So let's go back to the Giants real quick and close this out. I like what we're taking the trash out. We're changing the culture, and that's what the Giants have needed for all this time. Too comfortable. Ownership got too comfortable, right? And if some reason, God help me, if Hal Steinbrenner is watching this right now, if Brian Cashman is watching this now, take notes from what the New York Giants are doing right now. We don't even have a salary cap in Major League Baseball, and you guys are screwing it up. The Giants figured out, right? We have muddy wheels, and they're just spinning. We're doing the same things over and over and over again. You got to change the culture. It's not just about, we got to change the coach. But you got to change the culture. You got to bring in somebody who's going to make things uncomfortable for some people, right? Because when guys are uncomfortable with their situation, they're going to play harder. I feel that way. That's like that's the same thing about me saying players don't want to tank. Players ain't tanking. 0% their players are tanking. They don't want to tank, right? Because those guys are playing for jobs. They're playing for their football lives. They're not going to tank and be crappy just so they can bring someone in to take their spot. Nah. But you got to change your culture. You got to change everything, right? If you have a broken axle on your car, changing the tire is not going to help. You can keep changing your tires, or if it's out of alignment, you can keep changing your tires. But guess what? Eventually, soon that tire is going to go bald, and you're going to have to change your tire again. But you got to change the real problem. You got to fix the real problem, and the real problem for the Giants was a culture problem. Not being able to get the right people in because they're too comfortable with what they had. And it's a mirror situation with the New York Yankees. A son takes over the program for his father who passed away, and he's running it like a business instead of running it like a pro sports franchise and a business. Because I get the whole business aspect of it. In 2026, you have to make money to spend money. I understand this. But in order to get better, right? Because I feel like with the Yankees, and I know this isn't a baseball podcast, but it's relevant. Stick with me. With the Yankees, they're too comfortable, right? Oh, we win every year. We did pretty good. Well, we had the best offense in the league last year. Yeah, but your defense was garbage, and you can't get it done in the postseason because the bullpen was terrible, right? You need a culture change, and sometimes that means making hard decisions because they keep rolling the same dudes out there every single year, and it's the same result every year. No championship. Going to the playoffs every single year and losing is not enough, right? The Steelers got tired of that, and they got rid of a guy who they had for a long time. So, yeah, I know Hal doesn't run. He doesn't know how to run the team, Damian. He doesn't. He is comfortable letting Brian Cashman run the team. And guess what? He don't know how to do it either because he rode the coattails of guys for a long time. I need to get Nodder in here so we can do some baseball stuff one day. But listen. He rode the coattails. He did a great job in 2009, but the foundation was already built there with the core four and Bernie Williams. He brought in a couple guys, Teixeira, CC, and oh my God. I wish Nodder was here. You'd tell me. Oh my God. Why can't I think of his name? Anyway, I can see his face. I can't think of his name. Somebody will put it up. But he made some changes, and they won the World Series. Joe Girardi came in and took over for a legendary coach. And they won the World Series. But nothing, not a zip, zero, because they got too comfortable. They're too comfortable with the culture on the New York Yankees, and it sucks. Because they're wasting, arguably, a top 10 player, top 20 player of all time in Aaron Judge. They're wasting it by not building a team around him. And look at my face when I tell you this. It's the exact same thing that the Buffalo Bills are doing to Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the Aaron Judge of the NFL. They make the playoffs every year. He does great. But at the end of the day, he can't win because he doesn't have a team around him. And when ownership figures that out, instead of arguing about, I didn't want to draft this guy and I didn't want to draft that guy. Because if you're on the Buffalo Bills right now and you're hearing this going on, why would you want to stay there? And you want to bring Philip Rivers in to be your head coach? I'm out. I mean, prayers up for Josh Allen, man. But it's all relatable, guys. Changing the culture changes your program for the better. And that's what the New York Giants did. And it's the little things. Changing the locker room, changing the weight room, making it better for the players. They're literally rebuilding the cafeteria, bringing in different guys. So, yeah, I'm happy about the New York. This is the most happy I've been as a Giant fan on January 23rd since 2012. So, yeah, you want to know if I'm happy? F yeah, I'm happy. And I think every single Giant fan should be too. Because wins and losses will come. But you got to start where it matters most. And in every single sport, whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter who you have. If you don't have the guy to lead the program, if you don't have the guy out front leading, you're not going to be successful. Every great team has had a great leader. And that is just facts. And as much as I like Brian Daboll, not head coach material. Love the great job he did in 2022. Not a great leader. And I wish him the best. I hope he gets a job somewhere. I mean, I feel like he's going to be he's a better offensive coordinator than he was a head coach. What was Abdul Carter watching in film? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, say what you want about Abdul Carter. You're going to see a different player. You're going to see the same player in 2026 that you saw the last 4 games of the season, because that dude was a straight up beast the rest of the season. Because he was doing pretty great before that. You just didn't hear his name called all the time. All you heard was Brian Burns this and Brian Burns that. Rightfully so. But to say he didn't do anything before, it's sometimes in today's society, everybody wants the pretty stuff to happen right now, right? You want the pretty stuff right away. But the things he was doing that weren't getting noticed on camera, pressuring the quarterback. I think he was second in the NFL. Again, I could be wrong. I'm just wondering what I think I remembered. He was top 3 in the NFL in quarterback pressures. The guy was in the backfield constantly. Now, would I like to see him get better against the run? Absolutely. The entire freaking team needs to get better against the run because no one can tackle. And then you're gonna see that. That's where you got to get started. Thibodeau. Here's my thoughts on Thibodeau. I might have said it earlier. And thanks for the question, Charles. I think Thibodeau gets traded. I think Thibodeau, he's in the last year of his contract. I don't know if they're going to keep him in 2027. So if you can go and get a 3rd rounder for him now, why not? Why would you not do that? Plus, you're going to clear up some cap space. Why would you not do that? I still think that you see Slayton go away. Bobby Okereke may be a contract. That might be a cap hit. Because honestly, since Wink left, he's fallen off a little bit. The guy's steady. Guy's been good, but again, against the run, not so much. You might be able to get a 2nd round. But here's the thing with Kayvon, Damian. Kayvon, he gets hurt a lot, right? That shoulder injury kept him out the rest of the season. I think he hurt it in the Bears game. I remember he got hit underneath his arm and it went up, and I remember seeing him flexing his shoulder and coming off. So I think it was the Bears game that he got hurt and hadn't played since. So that's his deal. He gets hurt a lot. And I think you're going to see Dex come back next year too, by the way. After an off year because of that elbow. I think you're going to see him come back with force. Right? A good coach believes in his players. And standing up at the podium and saying, I believe in these guys. That's great. But it's letting your people know that you believe in them, right? Letting them know in something other than, having their backs. and helping them get better and figuring it out. That's how you do it. And that's why we need coaching, because coaching helped that. Josh Allen overrated. He chalks every playoff game. He's not overrated because, again, quarterbacks, like coaches, get blamed for everything. If a team loses a playoff game, it's automatically the quarterback's fault. Was last week Josh Allen's fault? Yep. But every other year, no. Just like saying Lamar is playoff, he chokes in the playoffs. A couple of times it was his fault. Last year wasn't his fault. Last year his tight end dropped the game-winning catch. He catches that ball. We're not saying that about him anymore. And I don't think it's the refs either. That's just an opinion. Blaming the refs is one playoff game Josh Allen choked. Yeah, he's lost 8 straight overtime games. A couple of them he didn't even get the football. But last week was definitely, they win the football game if Josh Allen plays a great game. If he plays Josh Allen football, they win. Philadelphia game, he could have won the game. He put them in position to win. He did Josh Allen shit. But when he needed to make a throw, he didn't do it in that game. And he didn't do it in the game last week either, because he had his tight end wide open at the 3-yard line and he overthrew it by 5 yards. He makes that catch. We're not even talking about this. We're talking about Patriots Bills in the AFC Championship in a blizzard tomorrow at Foxborough. Sam Darnold, I like Sam Darnold. I think what Sam Darnold has done in Seattle has been great. Again, I go back to what I just said about coaches believing in their guys. I think the Seahawks believe in Sam Darnold, and it's shown in the playoffs, because every other year in a big game or the playoffs, Sam Darnold shits in his hands and claps. But he's been great. He was great last week, and I think he's going to be good tomorrow. So I do like Sam Darnold. You know who wishes they had Sam Darnold? The Jets. Great friend of mine. I won't say his name on air because I don't know if he wants me to. Big Jet fan. Well, he said he quits. He's done with the Jets. He goes, man, if only the Jets had a guy like Sam Darnold. That was very poignant and a very astute observation of the New York Jets at this time. But yeah, listen, Rams Pats. Listen, I wouldn't be shocked, but I just don't see it. I don't see the Rams going into Qualcomm. I think that's what it's called, Qualcomm Stadium. I don't see them going in there tomorrow and beating that team. Seattle is just, they've been the best team in the NFL all season, quietly. And if they win it, if Seattle goes to the Super Bowl, they're going to win, no matter who they play. That's my opinion. Lumenfield, is that what Damian Lumenfield? They change these things all the time. I don't know. It's always been Qualcomm, and they change it. I don't keep up with that crap, right? Because I still call it MetLife Giant Stadium. I'm never calling it MetLife Stadium. Should have been the Giants. Well, in a different year, in a different life, maybe. But the Giants will be back. Giants will be back. I promise you this. The Giants will be back. John Harbaugh will bring them back to respectability. Am I saying they're going to win a Super Bowl? Nope. I'm not saying that. Who can say that? Next year, Madden, God, next year is the Giants' year. Next year is the Giants' year to be better. That's what the next year is the Giants' for here. 2027, the Giants will be, Giants are trash. Okay. Patriots fan here. Seattle is not beating LA. LA's quarterback is ready. Again, Stafford gives you a chance to win every time. But what have you seen from Seattle that leads you to believe that they're going to lose to the Rams? They might. I still think that Seattle is playing better. But if it's, here's what I'll say. If by chance that tomorrow's game in Seattle is a one-score game and Stafford has the football with a chance to win and or tie, he'll get it done. I believe in that. I believe in him because he's that dude. He is that dude, and his teammates know it. His coach knows it. The fans know it. Giants floor 7-10, ceiling 10. That's fair, Madden. I don't think. So Gooch has entered the chat. Listen, kid. Dave Meggett, dude, you weren't even alive for Dave Meggett. So my thoughts on Dave Meggett. He was awesome when we had him. Great kick returner, good scat back. I think he's in prison. So thanks, Dill. What are your thoughts on D-May? I thought you had practice. That's my kid, by the way. He's out in college in Ohio. Spreading the Giants love out there, by the way. I love you, buddy. Rocking his Giants gear every Sunday. Making the Browns, and his roommate is a Bengals fan. Making the Browns fans, and he's out there in Ohio State country. So as Penn State fans, that's kind of tough. It's been a rough few years. Do you think the run game is going to be better or worse for the Seahawks with Zach out? Listen, that is a very fair question. Thank you, Damien, because that's a good question. I mean, I still feel like they can get it done. I still think they can run the football. I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll be just maybe a little bit less than what you're used to seeing, but I still don't think it'll be a problem. Steeler fan, you guys have a great young team. Yeah, I feel it. I feel like the Steelers have some great young players, but the Steelers need to get younger. The Steelers need to get younger. The Titans, I think, have the youngest team in the league. I think we established that a few weeks ago. Steelers, I like some of the players the Steelers have, but you got to move on from Aaron Rodgers, man. Good Lord. Hey, that guy's almost my age, and he's still playing. Yeah, Penn State. Thank you. Fantasy, DS, and football talk. Yeah, buddy. Would you trade Kayvon? Yes. Steelers need to use DK more. Yes. Packers will be 9-8. I haven't seen anything like the Green Bay Packers are okay. The Packers are the youngest team. Why did I think it was the Titans? I don't know. It's in my head. Packers are, you know why? I know why I thought that. But yeah, the Packers are the youngest team. Pack will be 9-8. Why? Why do you think that? How about Dex? Dex is not getting traded. No shot. I think Dex restructures his contract. I don't think Dex gets traded. I think Dex has had an off year, and kudos for him for trying to play through it. And I feel like once he realized he was actually detrimental to the team more than helping the team by playing that way, I think he stepped back, and that was good for him because we need him. It's just have fallen off the last 5. Well, again, I hate to use the injury excuse, but you can't ignore it. You can't ignore that. I mean, not having their QB1. I mean, they played the Bears tough. And the Bears were a very good football team. Honestly, folks, that was the team I was rooting for. I really wanted to see the Bears go to the Super Bowl. They're a good football team, and they're going to just keep getting better. They're well coached. They do everything right. I mean, if you don't think that Caleb Williams is a tremendous quarterback, that kid is an absolute stud. And he doesn't, in my opinion, I don't think that Caleb Williams gets enough love and enough consideration for MVP. And he's not better than Stafford. I'm not saying that. He's not better than other quarterbacks, but to say that he isn't one of the best QBs in the league right now, I mean, did anybody watch this kid? I mean, the plays he makes at the end of the game are absolutely insane. Insane. That play on 4th down to send that game to overtime last week that's wild. He does it every single week. And listen, if I'm a Bears fan, bro, they did blow a 21-3 lead. I get it. But sometimes things just don't go your way. Sometimes things just don't go your way because everything that game, when the Bears came back in that game, every single thing that could possibly go wrong for the Green Bay Packers went wrong. The onside kick that the kid should have had, it just bounced off his shoulder pad. I mean, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. That just happens. It happens. Last play was luck. Dude, I mean, listen, there's always a percentage of luck in everything that happens that's great like that. But he made that play happen. Right? I mean, how is that lucky? You know what was lucky? The helmet catch was lucky. Right? But Eli getting out of that rush was skill. But he just chucked that ball up, let's be honest. But Caleb Williams made that play happen. And the receiver got open. That was a great play. I'm sorry. That was a great play. Worst game in the Giants season was when they blew a 19-0 lead. Yep. Nope. I feel like the worst game for the Giants this year was when we got blown out by the Patriots on Monday Night Football. I was there for that one. That was not pretty. Yes. But yeah, I will say as gut punch, that was the biggest gut punch. I was down in Disney watching the game with my dad, and I blame him because this game's in the bag. We were getting ready to go in for dinner, and my dad said, we're up by 10 with like 6 minutes to go. This game's in the bag. I was like, no, don't say that. And then, yeah, I was quiet the rest of the dinner. That was the biggest gut punch of the season. That was terrible. Losing to the Bears was also terrible. Losing to the Lions was terrible. Games that we blew leads. So yeah, but listen, that era of Giant football is over. Okay, it's behind us. Moving forward, 2026 and beyond, baby. Let's go. But yeah, Rams game going to be epic. Maybe. I feel like the Patriots Broncos game is going to be one of those classics. I hope both games are great. I hope that for NFL fans, for fans who are not fans of the 4 teams left, myself included, I just want 2 good games tomorrow, and I want a good Super Bowl because there's nothing worse than a blowout Super Bowl. Nothing. There's nothing worse sports-wise than a blowout Super Bowl. Prove me wrong, unless it's your team that's winning, right? But for the rest of the world, there's nothing wrong. I mean, there's nothing worse than a blowout Super Bowl. That's the worst. I hate it. Where I go back to the like the 49ers and the Chargers. Remember that? I think it was like 97-ish, maybe 90. I don't know, 94. I don't know when it was. It was in the 90s. I was deployed, and I remember staying up late because we were deployed in the Middle East, and I remember staying up to watch the game, and I was like, why did I stay up for this? The game was over before it started. Those Cowboys Bills Super Bowls blowouts. Nothing's worse than that.
1995.
95 was
49-26.
Yes, Steve, and I think the Chargers got some of their points like in garbage time too. I think that was Steve Young's first Super Bowl win. So yeah, Broncos Seahawks was a blowout. Yeah, the one that was at Giant Stadium, that was an absolute Super Bowl 49. Yeah, Pete Carroll throwing on Pats when Marshawn could have ran it in. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. I was rooting for the Patriots in that one. I'm gonna be honest. I've rooted for the Patriots in every Super Bowl that they've been in except for 2. And you all know what that one was. Those 2 were. But yeah, that's pretty awful. Pats throwing on Pats and Marsh. Yeah, that'll go down as an all-time shitter. That's bad. That was really bad. Because I thought the Pats were gonna lose that, right? Because they had right before that, they had that pass that like got bobbled and the kid was on the ground and caught it. I can't remember who it was. He caught it on the ground. And then Brady was like, again? Not again. Here we go again. And then it just inexplainably throwing the football at Russ. Eli is Brady's kryptonite. That's facts. And Brady would admit it too. So yeah, listen, guys, I hope for everybody's sake that's watching, you guys have a great day tomorrow. If you are in an area that is affected by this storm, I hope that you all stay safe. Please stay warm. Don't leave your pets outside, please, for God's sakes. But have a great day tomorrow. Have a great day today. Hopefully you don't have to shovel too much snow. I sold my house and I live in a condo now. I don't have to shovel any snow tomorrow. So I'm thrilled about this. So have a great day, guys. Enjoy football tomorrow. To my Patriot fan friends, good luck to you guys. To my Seattle Seahawks friends, good luck to you guys. I don't know any. I know one Rams fan, so good luck to you, I'm if you're watching. I'm the only Rams fan I know, and I only know a couple of Broncos fans. So my buddy Merch, if you're watching, buddy, good luck to your Broncos tomorrow, and I hope they lose. But yeah, so I hope everybody has a great day tomorrow. Enjoy football. 2 weeks away from the Super Bowl, folks. We're gonna probably be back next week to wrap up tomorrow's games. And then we will do a Super Bowl special. Maybe something a little fun and a little exciting in between if it works out. And we'll talk more about that as it develops. So, listen, it's going to be a great day tomorrow. It's Championship Sunday. It's the best day in football. Make some chili, something warm. Stay warm. Unless you live in LA or out West Coast, you're probably going to be nice and toasty. But the rest of us in America are freezing right now. And just stay warm. Enjoy your football day. And I will see you guys next week on another episode of Big Blue Confidential. What up, a J18? Go, baby.